I'm really looking forward to today in showcasing my business, Cinergee. But before I get into that, I want to give you a little bit of insight into why I got into the industry. So there were three key components of my upbringing which influenced me in the direction that I actually went. The first one of those was I was brought up on a hobby farm, organic hobby farm at Rosevears, and so we virtually lived off the land, and so that connection with nature and the healthy living, all that sort of stuff still carries through with me today. The other thing that made a huge influence from the time that I could actually hold a racket, we actually started off with badminton, so our whole family, I've got two other sisters and a brother, played badminton, so we played locally at Rosevears and Exeter, and also represented the West Hamer, the north of the state, and two of my siblings were state players. Played a whole range of other sports as well, culminating, and now I climb mountains for fitness. The other component, from the ages of 15 through to 21, I lived in the media. So I was in the Examiner all the time. I lived on what was Channel 9 at that stage, as well as gracing the catwalk as a model. So this was one of the page 3 versions of being in the Examiner. So with all that, it actually made a huge influence of where I actually went. And I went to Queensland to study as an esthetician. Now, an esthetician is a European version of a beauty therapist. So I actually trained with a European school based in Queensland. And that actually started a 30-year love affair with studying the human body. And this is just some of the different things that I've done over that 30-year period. And so I studied both inside and outside of the body, as well as the power of the mind and how that affects us physically through our emotions. And so what I want to do today is give you an idea of our health and how that actually impacts in us. And so I'm going to use Nemo here, so say hello to Nemo for me, please. Nemo is going to be my little model for this demonstration. And so we're going to start working with a number of different things that we use within our diet on a regular basis. So I'm going to start with some coffee, and hopefully he will stay upright. Other thing that a lot of people have is cigarettes. Cigarettes actually have 3 billion free radicals within them, and they constrict the blood vessels for up to 4 hours after exposure. And that means whether you're a smoker or whether you're passively smoking. The other thing that we load our system with is sugar. And by the way, kids, please don't do this at home with your little fish, because I can't guarantee he would survive. And salt. Now, these are generally hidden. I'm surprised how many clients come to me saying that they don't add sugar. But if you have anything that's out of a packet, anything that's in a jar, anything that's been processed in any way, shape or form, it's going to be loaded with sugar. And inflammation is the huge factor with what sugar actually creates. Destroys the small intestine. The other thing that we like a little bit of is some chocolate. And we have a tendency, my fish is keeling over already. We like our trans fat in the form of margarine. But we don't stop there. We actually use a lot of hydrolyzed vegetable oils into the system. And to finish it off, we do like a glass of wine as well. Now, what you can see is the poor Nemo's got to swim around within this environment, and one of the first things he is going to suffer with is with headaches. But that's okay, we have something for that. We've been so conditioned to think that we cure a headache with a pill, so we're going to throw a pill in there. Now, understand that the body is actually a filter system, so we can do all sorts of abusive things to it, and our body will actually survive quite well. Now Nemo's going to struggle with getting some food down, so he's going to start with some little bit of indigestion, but we also have things for that as well. So we have a tendency to throw some more medications through at the same time. The other things that Nemo will suffer with is skin rashes, all those sorts of things. May put on some weight because of it, and that will actually lead to, when you're carrying a little bit of weight, your body's a little bit more inflamed. That inflammation can lead more to arthritis and things like that. So we have more pills for that, including cortisone cream, cortisone injections. So if we're looking at what Nemo needs, who's the first person that can call out what Nemo needs? He needs to change the water. A glass of water helps, because if you don't drink water, this gets thicker and thicker. A lot of people who don't drink water actually have a very toxic system because they're not flushing the system. You're actually retaining it within the system. I like the way everyone's running for their water bottle. Now, how do I actually work taking this into consideration? When someone comes to me, they fill out a consultation form. So it's quite intensive, as you can see, and by what I'm looking for is the quality of the water. So whether someone is actually coming to me for massage or for skin treatments, I'm always looking at the quality of the water. So if they're coming just purely for relaxation, yes, I can work just with that and I won't touch this, but I'm still got in my background what else is going on that can be contributing to the amount of stress that they actually have. There are a whole range of different massage techniques that I can use. It depends again on what the person's actually requiring. But with massage, aches and pains will generally come down to the toxins within the system as well. For skin problems, all skin issues come down to the quality of the water. So if you've got rashes, eczema, rosacea, it all purely comes down to the quality of the water. So when I work from the surface of the skin, I'm also looking at how I'm going to work internally to balance the internal system. And there is a number of ways that I can actually do that as well. So as mentioned, there's a whole lot of nutritional things I can do. There are elimination programs if they're suffering with food allergies. We can do wellness programs, we can do detox programs. Again, it depends on the individual, and that's what comes through on the consultation form. Now, just not to scare you off too much, what can you do about all this? Well, what I'm looking for today is, if you're starting to feel a little bit worried that yes, you could be within this scenario, this is the environment that your cells actually live, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. If you go onto my Facebook page and like my Facebook page, I put regular health and wellbeing tips up there to keep you on track, and coming up there will be online programs for you to do as well. So if you're a little bit embarrassed to come into me, or you're not able to because of work or family commitments or something like that, I can still work with you as an online basis and set up programs through that way. So my name's Vivian from Cinergee. Thank you.